during the stream, and they're basically talking about what they're going to start doing. They're introducing the show, the program, and you can see in the background here they've got our TV running. Of course, I can't show it that well because then it gets taken down. Whatever people complain, but let's see. So now they're talking a little bit about how long. Well, the program just started basically, and they're going to be talking, I guess, a little bit, building it up, hyping it up, and they're talking about the history of the comic series and the fact that it's a Guinness World Record series, and of course the fact that this year represents the 20th year anniversary of the series. Let's see if I can move these out of the way. So you can see in the back there you've already got like Brooks guitar. They have an actual Brooks guitar. I assume they'll be doing this. Let's turn that down. All right. So they're saying that Oda is a fan of Sama, this host of the MC of the television program, and that they say they're in his house. Right now I can tell you that they're in the entranceway to his home. You can see a polar bear right there behind the fellow right here. He's speaking to this fellow on the left here. You can see there's a giant, real-sized polar bear behind him. I don't know. Can you see that well? You can also see this bright kind of objects on the floor here. And of course, I'm assuming that many of you are going to be watching this after you watch this program. I know a lot of you. I'm doing this real time, and I'm also purposely doing this so you can't see too well here. But this is the entranceway, and you walk in here from the outside, and this is what you see here: this floor that's lit up by all of these this projection display. And on this projection mapping, there are like swimming things or objects on the floor. It's like an undersea kind of. You can't see the TV, but you can see you. Yes, you can see me, and I'm not purposely not showing you the TV clearly, so that you. Yeah, so that this doesn't get taken down or anything. So at a later time, when this comes out online, you can watch this in synchrony with whatever the TV is. So. You can see as they're stepping on the projection mapping on the floor in Oda's entranceway that there's ripples in the water, and as he's going around, I don't think they focused in on it, but there's a giant shark. If you mess around too much and if you step on too many panels at the same time, like if you step on things like this, a giant shark comes by and goes and tries to sweep you away. Also on the left-hand side there, you're going to see an entranceway, or on the right-hand side there is another doorway, and a lot of the doorways that you're going to see here have these brass workings, these metal workings on them, and a lot of them are actually similar to the doors that you'll see in One Piece. See that entranceway door there, right there behind him as he's speaking. And of course, again, to reiterate this for new people joining, I'm expecting you to watch this when you watch another version of this, all right, when you watch this broadcast. A lot of these doorways and things are very close to and probably designed after doors and their fastenings that are in One Piece. So right now she's entering a room that is Oda's workplace. Oh, and I think they're going to show the tree here that hugs people. It's like a yeah, they're definitely working there too. Yeah, they're going to have somebody walk by this tree here. I guarantee it. And the door is going to the tree is going to like go like it's like a Halloween tree. Yeah, they just did it. So when that first happened to me, I hugged the tree, and Oda was like, "Man," he was like, "You're the first person probably ever to hug that tree." Shinhor, what's an atelier? Yeah.
Means office.
Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, they're calling it his office. Thanks, sweetheart. And this is actually the workplace, and I think this is one of the first times that they're revealing this. But the workplace is actually inside his house.
Workplace for artwork.
Yeah. So here now we're inside the his working office, and you can see it. And there he is. There's Oda. This I don't. So yeah, there he is, of course, and he's covered up by Luffy, of course. And oh yeah, they mentioned him as being Fumomoto, 44 years old as of this broadcast. And starting at when he was age 22, so 22 years ago. It makes sense. So they mentioned about having children, but they don't go into specifics of the children, and that he was married at 29 to his wife. So yeah, you can see a lot of the objects in here that are related to. He has no feet, no like sandals or anything on. He doesn't wear anything. So kind of like Luffy, he's kind of like going wild in here. Oh, here's his DJ setup. So yeah, he does do DJing for fun. So he has some fun with that. So he's playing with some of the songs that he's playing with there are actually songs that were sung by the MC there. So he's kind of messing with them. There's the Terminator that you can see. What's Dohaji? Oh, I guess it's a program. Saturday at 8. Yeah, what is he saying right now? So Oda and Sam are basically talking about, like, what he's a fan. Is he a fan? The TV is too bright. If you're just joining us, again, I'm telling you, I know the TV is too bright. I can't show you the TV perfectly, otherwise it's going to get taken down. I'm just giving you an idea and a play-by-play so that later on when you download this or you watch it somewhere else, you can kind of get the play-by-play of what's happening and a little bit of background information on what you're seeing. So again, we're inside Oda's office, which I believe here for the first time is, yes, I will upload this, and that's partially why I don't have the TV in perfect lighting and condition. All right. So he's talking. Oda is comparing him to Oda is comparing Samma, the host of this program, to Whitebeard. Sanma says that he's like Whitebeard in the sense that he doesn't have any wounds on his back, but that's only because he's actually successful in running away. And there's the drawing that Oda did for him of as Whitebeard. That I think we can show, right? We know that. That's already been shown. All right. So Oda's saying that he drew it on computer. That's not something that he actually drew on that piece of paper, but he drew it on computer and then printed it out on there. You've seen a lot of these. This is a lot of the digital work that Oda does, So here it is. He's doing it. You've already seen part of this. This was in the commercial for this television program. This is kind of like how he's done the work for Suzuki Minoru and I believe the YouTube channel, other things like that. It's kind of weird. He's kind of addressing the size of the mouth and how to do the mouth, the whole thing. Mike got quiet. And again, he's saying, like, I don't have any wounds on my back because I'm successful in running away. So you can see all different objects in the back there. You can see some Dr. Slump, you can see some Kira Toriyama kind of stuff, Gear 4 Luffy, some of the, again, much of this are scenes that you've probably seen from television, or not television, interviews printed in One Piece magazine and such. talking a little bit about now, what this crew of people with the television program do and don't know about the series. And this one lady is saying, like, yeah, I don't know much about the series. All right, so now we're going to check out more of his workplace. Can't hear me, huh? All right. Well, I can't do too much about that. You hear anything? All right, so all right, good. Okay, so they're talking about the number of assistants that are in this place, and there are approximately 10 assistants. So if some of you were wondering, how many assistants he has, that's about the number. Oh, there's this 100. He now has this 100-inch TV. So in order to get the TV into the room there, the 100-inch TV into the room, they broke down the wall, and then they brought the TV in because it wouldn't fit through the doorway. So this doctor who is kind of analyzing things on the show says that, hey, he says, your ceiling here is like basically 3 meters tall, and he says that my hypothesis, actually, one of my hypotheses for studying people is that for geniuses, they have very tall ceilings so that their imagination and such can properly work. So that's kind of the theme of this television program, by the way, is like doctors and professors offer their ideas for they just offer their hypothesis, and then you decide whether to believe that or not. Let's get that out of the way. So, okay, again, they're kind of wasting time here, talking about like, oh, okay, so this is my idea for why tall ceilings mean that your brain will work better, blah, 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 blah. And while they're doing this, they're showing you around the room. And I'll describe, there are some models and figures. Sama says that his room is also filled with different kind of figures and things. Kind of like my room. Oh, there's the Nami figure. Remember the high quality Nami figure, the doll that was released? That's there. There's a Bruce Lee figure as well. And Sama says that he likes Looney Tunes. So he has tons of Looney Tune figures everywhere, alongside like Whitebeard and Hancock. All right, now they're going over to Oda's desk. And Oda's desk is, you're going to see here moving are a lot of familiar scenes from... So AK Pirate Prince asks, I know Oda doesn't show his face much these days. Are they blocking out his face or just going all natural? They're definitely blocking out his face. Every time that he's shown, it's a Luffy face in front of him, but they're not doing anything about his voice. He's speaking just perfectly normally. And we've cut to commercial. So, again, the biggest reveal so far is the fact that Oda's workplace is within his home. And I don't think that was something that was actually publicly revealed before. But yes, they're finally saying that his artwork area, where he does all his work and where his assistants come and where he does everything, that's all located within his home. So I don't think that was known by people before. If you have any questions so far about the workplace, since we're in commercial that I can answer, please feel free to ask away. I don't know why the microphone wasn't working before. Sorry about that. I was holding my phone, and it seems to work when I put it down, but not when I'm holding the phone. I don't get what the deal there is. What else? What they're going to be showing you as... Are we back, or is this another catcher? A teaser. Okay, we're going over to his workspace. So they're saying, what is your basically your image or your theme? And he says, well, basically my theme is like an American junk shop, like a shop that has tons of different things. And that's true. There are like gas station signs and neon signs, Harley Davidson stuff, tons of junk. A lot of stuff that he gets sent is sent back here in this area. So like when you send him toys and you send him stuff, a lot of it gets put back into this area. And it's basically, here's his desk, and we're looking at his desk now. And oh, there's some of the dolls, the marionette dolls that were given to him by the anime producer. And there's his desk. There's the Lego blocks where he puts his phone. I wonder what is he working on there? Which chapter is that? For some reason, they're playing Ghostbusters. Oh, there's the Slimer. Slimer comes out, and there's just a Slimer that's just going along a string that he has there. I didn't know all this lights up in here. He has all this lit up, and I didn't know that it lights up. When I've been back there, it's just been very dark, low lighting. So he's saying, on this shelf on the right, whenever I finish my drafts, I put them in the right, and I ring a bell, and I call the staff, and the staff comes over and they grab the documents off the shelf. Yeah, he says that when he's concentrating, he doesn't want to even speak. So that's why when he puts it on the shelves, he rings a bell, because he doesn't even want to call them over. So this, okay, what he's writing here, when this was filmed, was the revealed chapter of, what was it, 928? The revealed chapter of Komurasaki? He says, someone says, weren't you going to finish at 100 volumes? He's like, no, I never said that. Oda says, I think I'm close to the end of the story. But, of course, we know that to be silliness. He's nowhere near. Oh, and there's the color from, what is that? Is that 928 or 929? You have the color done in black and white, so he's obviously working on that. He says, Sama says, isn't One Piece about the link between family? And he says, no, that's not right. One Piece isn't. It's not about the link between family. So now they're talking about how people are wondering, what is the One Piece? And he says, no. He says, One Piece is not about the connection between family. Oh my God, yes, I called it. He says that at the end of The Wizard of Oz, yes, he finally says it. He admits that at the end of Wizard of Oz, everybody finds something inside themselves, and you know what, that was the reward. He didn't say this years ago. He just said it was a famous story. Yes! And he says that he was unsatisfied by the fact that whatever they found was inside themselves. And he says that One Piece will not be that. Yes! Called it! So he says, yeah, I will not make One Piece just be a thing that they discover inside themselves. He says, no. He says, it's not going to be something that's like an educational thing for children. He says, what about Ace? Is Ace coming back to life? And he says, no. He says, do you have the end in your head? And he says, yes, I do. That's what I'm heading towards. He says, no, I'm not pulling you along. He says, what volume are you going to write until? He says, I'm going to go a little bit over 100. So you heard it here. He said, I'm a little bit over 100. I don't think so. I think it's going to be way over 100. All right, and he says, oh, look, he's got Kingdom. So he's reading Kingdom. Some of the other famous people have found Kingdom on shelves. Oh, there's the Suzuki Minoru. Fist of the North Star. Vagabond. Jojo. Fuguman. And now they're looking at some of the stuff I was mentioning earlier. The Toriyama robot, Joker, Batman. Oh, there are some of the covers. So there are these monitors on walls that are. If you can close the door behind the TV, maybe you can see it. Well, I don't want to show it to you too well, like I was saying. I don't want you to see the TV too well, so this doesn't get taken down. That's part of what I'm trying to tell you, folks. Because if you see it too well, then this gets taken down and you lose my interpretations. Oh, he has a John Ken machine. He has machines that you buy in order to win a prize. He's actually bought those machines so that you can try to win them yourself. Oh, there's Naito. Naito's there. Now the professor is talking again, and he's trying to analyze this, and he's saying like, oh, you using playing video games will help you relax during working, and he's talking about if you play a gambling game, then you'll be more willing to it'll make you stronger. It'll make you want to work harder. So they're looking at the Chupa Chups and they're like, does he actually eat these? And like some of these things that are here, and he says, oh yeah. He says, you can eat, they eat here, and Oda loves chocolate. Now Naito and Sugita-san are talking. And they're saying that, yeah, he loves to eat sweet stuff. And now again the professor or the doctor, or whatever he is saying, he's like, yeah, if you see many different colorful things, like the office is very colorful. He says, it'll help you work. Again, they're killing a little bit of time here. They're not. Is Greg in Oda's home? Right now, no. But I've been here before. Oh, he has an Alexa, and he wrote Alexa on it with a face. Okay, now we're going to the toilet. The toilet's probably going to be the shark room. Yeah, okay, you can see in the back here, he actually has a real Brooks guitar. Okay, finally we're at a commercial break. Alright, we're at a commercial break, so you can ask any questions you'd like to during this time. So we're going to the toilet. The toilet is connected to the workplace. And again, the workplace has been revealed in this program to be actually inside Oda's home. So, if you were under the impression that his home and his workplace were separate, no, they're actually one and the same. Not that he lives inside the workplace, but it is a part of the compound that is his home. The toilet that you're going to see is the workplace toilet. The workplace toilet is the shark toilet. And right outside that toilet is an actual real-sized Brooks guitar. The shark guitar that he has, it's an actual real-sized guitar of his. So. Okay, will this be on YouTube? Because I'm at work, I'm afraid to close it now. Yes, I will try to keep this on YouTube. I think it should be fine. That's exactly why I'm keeping the TV like this, so I can upload this on YouTube. Otherwise, I wouldn't be stringing you along with the TV like this. If I showed you the TV perfectly, then a lot of people would probably claim it and get it taken down. No problem, Josh. Wow, I'm surprised with this. I'm surprised that this program is actually starting right from the beginning and going into the One Piece material. That's impressive. I imagine that as this goes on, hey Greg, great to see you subscribe. We'll be doing more streams. I hope so. Actually, I'm doing this off my phone for the first time, and I didn't. Oh, we're going back to the program. Okay, we're going into the bathroom. You can probably hear them sugoi and whatnot. So yeah, there's the shark head and the toilet. And you can see it's not only the shark head actually. Alongside the toilet, there's an eel with blue lighting. And so if you're wondering why a lot of the rooms look like this, they haven't explained this in the program, but a lot of the rooms. Oh, back to Oda talk. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so Sama and Oda are talking. Okay, so Sama heard a rumor that his wife looks like Nami. So on a stage play that was actually at Jump Festa, his wife did perform as Nami, as we know. So Oda's saying that no, I didn't write Nami after my wife. My wife was similar to Nami and became her. And he says that actually there are a lot of manga authors that end up marrying women that look like they're heroines. He says, like, how do you not get tired sitting all the time? And he says, he's like, this chair helps me. He says, just sitting this way. He says, I've been using this chair for a long time, and it keeps me forward in a forward position, and it is not painful for me. He says, do you exercise? He says, lately I've been told that if you don't do exercise, then you're going to die. He says that you have like symptoms of diabetes and stuff, and he says, but I don't eat like a normal person. He's like, I don't eat that much, and he says that a lot of it probably comes from the fact that I don't exercise, I don't do things. So he sleeps from about 9 to 12 in the morning. And his staff from about 5 in the morning to 12 noon. That's interesting. I tend to get, whenever I get messages from him, a lot of them are like from in the early morning, like around that time. I guess that's when he gets his time off. So like when he's just kind of like, messing around or looking at his cell phone, trying to get some sleep or something. So he's asking Sama if Sama ever has difficulty sleeping or not. So Oda's saying that like they're talking about thinking up interesting ideas or thoughts for either for some as a comedy routine or Oda for his story, and he says that as soon as he comes up with an interesting idea, he tries to write it out soon, right then and there, and that might create some difficulty sleeping. So like if Sama was saying that as well, like when I have a good idea, he starts writing, and Sama's saying that like as soon as he's writing a good idea or an interesting thought, like his hand starts to laugh as well, which Oda didn't really get a chance to respond to. The rest of the people involved in the production were like, "Oh, hey, you mind if we join you?" Finally. So now the analyst, is looking at his chair, and he's saying that, "Oh, look at your chair." He says the back is completely straight. And Sama is also revealing to them that he's a short sleeper, sleeping from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. They're showing some of the items back here that I was describing in the shelves. You might even be able to see some of the items that I sent him. I'm not sure if they're going to show it or not, but some of the Legos that I sent him years ago are actually in this same location. He's saying that some of the voice actors and actresses send him stuff, and like this is where he puts all of it back here in his workspace. And he's like, "Yeah, man, they bother me sometimes with the stuff they send me. It's enormous." So yeah, what they're looking at right now is the room as it is when he works, which is how I've seen the room, and it's very dark. Okay, yeah, how it is right now in the program, and again, when you're watching this on YouTube or wherever you see it, it's very dark in the room. That is precisely how I have seen this area. He had it lit up before, but yeah. And the analyst is now saying that if you work in a very small space, it will, again, it's kind of going back on what he said before, but he says if you work in a small, dark, confined space, you'll want to create something or draw something that is much wider in scope. That's the analyst, believe it or not. That's the theme of the program. All right, now, so we've moved out away from his workspace, but we're still in the office area. And again, if you're just joining us, it's been revealed here that Oda's office area is actually within his house. And again, they're talking about the end of One Piece. Yes, he's already thought about the end of One Piece and what he wants to do. He says, okay, if somebody predicts the end of One Piece, he was like, would you ever change it? And he's like, yeah, I definitely would, or do. Which is why sometimes my articles get changed. Okay, now we're going into the home area of the household, the compound. Okay, so we're going to be going back into that original entranceway area, across it, and then up into the house. And I think they're giving us a bit of a teaser here. They're saying there's a surprise guest as well. Oh, probably Kimura Takuya. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, because Kimura Takuya and Sama are good friends. And Oda and Kimura Takuya are friends. So he's definitely invited him, and they're having a barbecue there. That's definitely what they're doing. So that's what that's going to be. All right, we're at commercial. Finally. I don't know how slowly they're going to go through the house, but there are several levels to it. I don't know how much I should say, because if they show you it, then I can talk about it. If they don't show you it, then I probably shouldn't talk about it. So I'm going to wait to talk about stuff as they go through it. If you have any questions, right now would be an excellent time to ask them. I think there's about 14 minutes or so left in the program. I'm not sure. I think it's like an hour long. Does Oda still have workout equipment still up in the workplace? I don't remember seeing any workout equipment when I was there. Like maybe some like weights like this or something like that. I don't know, but I didn't see any like I've never seen any treadmills or serious bench press equipment or anything like that. Has anyone asked if Oda he likes Lord of the Rings? Um, I can't imagine he doesn't like it. He likes fantasy. He loves movies. I'm trying to think if I've ever saw any Lord of the Rings material in his house. Um, hmm. Oh, here we go. Into his house. All right, so yeah, they're taking us step by step. So we're going back into the room with the projection, and we're going into the entranceway. And he has a massive entranceway here for shoes. This is when you enter the house. You take off your shoes here. Are they going to show the floor? Because there's more animals here. There's an animal that I'm hoping they're going to show. Oh, they said, do you have an ATM in your house? And he said, no, I don't have an ATM. They do have this chair. It's a piece of artwork that's a chair that you can actually sit on. It's a 3D artwork. So there's a chair that you can actually sit on. It looks like a painting, but you can sit on it. He says he bought it on a site from overseas. But again, we're still in the entranceway here. I'm surprised they're not shooting over to the left. There's a giant, like, antelope or something over to the left-hand side. My wife wants it. They showed the butt of the animal. They don't actually show it. That's funny. So you've seen the polar bear, and you've seen the butt of the antelope. And now we're heading up to the, I guess this is the first floor? And this is like the living room. Oh, never mind. No, they're going straight up to the third and then the fourth floor now. I think this is the fourth floor. I don't know what he counts as his first floor, but... And here's the famous crane game. I've won a lot of stuff in the crane game, and that's because he makes it very easy. It's so when he has parties and stuff, his staff actually stand there and attend the crane, and they just stuff it with One Piece merchandise, and you can just like try as many times as you want, and get as much loot and merch as you want. He has literally boxes and boxes and boxes of the merchandise. Honey, some of my people say hello.
Hello.
Alright, so Sama's trying to win some stuff. If you can look at the crane game, it's actually designed after the salvage ship, Mashida's salvage ship. So Sama loves Hancock, so Oda's loaded up, or his staff have loaded it up with Hancock goods. So you can actually see in the background the Shimizu bar. The Shimizu bar is based on his original anime producer for the series, who is Mr. Shimizu from Toei Animation. And because he owes so much to Mr. Shimizu, he named that bar after him. So this area here is one of the top levels, and it's where he throws a lot of the parties. Of course, you have to travel up through the home to get to the top area. Oh, Sama ended up getting a... Oh, there's the train. So now we're going to the train area, which is also in this top floor. And there's the track, the loop track that goes like this. And I think you've seen this in One Piece magazine. And it lights up different colors. It's in a garden, in an enclosed garden. It goes out and around in an enclosed area. And this is the only one like it in the world. It was made specifically for him. When he has his parties, he opens this up to his guests, and you can ride it just like they're doing right now. The station is, I believe it's called Mayumi Station. That's where it departs. They're riding the train. There's a giant tanuki. I think there are a couple of animals as you're riding it. There's an elephant. I think. Yeah. There's an elephant, a tanuki. I think there's a lion somewhere as well. Maybe in the garden area. Yeah. Oda says that people who are shy love to ride this. Oh, I didn't know that. Inoue Sensei and Toriyama Sensei also rode this train. Cool, I didn't know that. My wife and I rode this as well, so. Okay, so now the rest of the crew are riding the train. And now to the party room. So this is where he hosts the parties again. This is the same room. This is the same area as before. It's just further back in this same open area, and it's you'll see a lot of the pictures, like the Hikakin picture. There's a picture that Hikakin sent at his last party, and that was sent from this area. You can notice the background here, and this is where he hosts his parties, or his guests, and a lot of the I guess the famous celebrities, the famous guests, are usually back in this area. So when I was there, this is where like Hikakin would be, or actors or comedians, or like Keri Pamu Pamu would be there. Okay, so now going back to the theme of the television program, they're going to step away from introducing bits of the house, and they're going to talk about the ability of rubber, and like what they're going to analyze Luffy a bit, these professors and doctors with the TV show. So they're saying that, oh, there's a new type of rubber out that can be expanded almost endlessly. So the analyst and the professor are going, oh yes, there's this kind of gum that can actually stretch to these amounts, and if you added this to your character, it would go like this, and he would be able to perform this. And Oda's just going, yeah, okay, oh really, So he doesn't care. It's nothing to do with, he didn't analyze the series or his character like this. He's talking about now a straw hat. He's like, a straw hat should only last like 4 years. And then after that, it should just disintegrate and go to pieces. And he says, well, this hat has been around a lot longer than that. He says, so it is a manga, isn't it? He says, yeah, it's a manga, of course. So they're saying that Oda is cooking some special meat for Sanma today, and this is probably where they're gonna take us to the veranda where he has his barbecue set, and this is probably where we're gonna see Kimura Takiya from SMAP, who is also known as a famous One Piece fan. Yeah, so they're saying this is where he's gonna have a surprise. So they're walking out of that space and to the veranda, and there's somebody with his back turned to the camera, and he's cooking giant meat. And yeah, it's Kimura Takiya dressed up as a chef. And yeah, he's cooking the meat. So I don't know if you know who Kimura Takiya is, but was like the most gorgeous Japanese man for like X number of years in a row. He was a member of the wildly popular boy band SMAP in Japan. I don't know. He says that that Oda lined him. He sent him a line message, and he said that, "Hey, Sama's coming to my house, and we're gonna eat meat." And he's like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "That's cool." He's like, "I could cook it for you." And he's like, "Okay, so come on over." You can also see the wall. There's water flowing down the wall there on this outside veranda area. Um, and this is where he actually has waterfalls throughout his home. Does Oda drink? I'm aware it's not the best solution, but it would help him a bit with the lack of sleep. I don't think lack of sleep is like a problem. He prefers it that way. I think a lot of people are worried that like, he doesn't get a lot of sleep because he's too worked up. Or no, it's not that. It's just he doesn't like to. Why would he? All right, so they finish cooking the meat and they go back to the party room and they're eating. So so Oda's daughter apparently said to him at some point like, "Daddy, you really like big boobs, don't you?" And that was kind of a teaser for the next segment. And I think the next segment will probably be the last segment. How long ago were you there, Greg? I was there last year. Last summer, I think was our last party there. Does Oda have a gimp suit? Not that I've seen. All right, again, we're in commercial, so if there's anything you're interested in or want to ask about, by all means. Oda said One Piece will be a bit over 100. Yeah, Oda said that One Piece will be a bit over 100 volumes. But don't take that literally. He is totally messing with you. When he says it that way, he completely expects it to be way over that, I think. That's him. That's like just an inside joke for him. He's basically hyping everybody. Expect it to be way over 100 at this point. And by way, I don't mean like 300, but I mean like, don't expect it to be like end at like 105. Expect it to go significantly over that. All right, maybe we're back to it. I'm not sure if this is just a tease or not. There's some Star Wars stuff here. Yeah, no, we're not back yet. Does Oda have a favorite? Hold on, let's see. How do I get the chat back? There it is. What's up with the scheduling of your Super One Piece Koza? What do you mean by that? There should have been one uploaded today. Does Oda have a favorite character? What did he say? His favorite character is, he doesn't like have an actual favorite character, but it's like Buggy because he's easy to draw. How fun is the train? The train is like, it's not like exciting. It's not fast or anything, but it's kind of cool. Like you feel like a big kid. It's fun. All right, so now they're going to try to analyze. The analyst has 2 questions for Oda. He says, "Were you good at drawing pictures from 3 to 4?" He says, "Well, people praised my pictures at that time." He says, if you can draw pictures from 3 to 4, he says usually you'll be good at certain things in life. So yeah, he reveals also that his family did solo bomb. So they're talking about did I say solo? What is abacus? Abacus. That's the word for it. Abacus. So Oda's family. He doesn't reveal which side it is. I know which side it is, but one of his parents was a abacus teacher. And they ask if he's good at math and whatnot. He doesn't really answer it, but he says, "Well, actually, my household we were an abacus household. We taught abacus." And at this point, Kimutaka brings out the meat, and it's all cut up. And they all sit down for dinner. So he says that he ordered from a special steak store. I think I know the name of that steak store. I can't remember the... What?
Steak.
No, Wolfgang. He orders some steak from Wolfgang, but there's another place that he orders from in Tokyo. I don't have the name of it right now. So he serves Samma first. Oda serves Samma, and then he goes around the table next. He gives a piece to Kimutaku. So he's basically giving everybody there. You can also see Oda's ring here. He's got a pretty cool ring. Some of the analysts are trying to say, oh yes, if you share things like, they're really pushing to try to get the theme of the TV program across. They're not doing it at all, but there's like, oh yes, if you share things in a space like this, like we're sharing this meal, then it's easy to discuss and your true feelings, and forget that. So they're asking, how did Kimura meet Oda? I believe it was on the radio or something. On TV, Kimura mentioned that One Piece is cool. So they're talking about the time that Kimura came to his house for an interview. That was, of course, the interview in Men's Non, and that was one of the things that set me off, that I was upset about many years ago. So Oda believes that Kimura kind of made a chance for him to be popular in the world as an artist. Because he spoke out about his love for One Piece, and people paid attention to that. So yeah, they're just talking about this time where Sama was talking about, his type, his like favorite woman, and he was saying like, oh yeah, I like this real woman and this real woman, and his number one was Hancock from One Piece. And at that time, Kimura Takia lined him, and he was like, wow, you went and said it, huh? Okay, so he's saying that what happened with Nami? Like, what happened to her body change? Like, why did that happen? He says, I think when I was younger, I was a little bit more reserved. I was embarrassed to draw a more, I guess, full woman. Oh, wow. So he wasn't planning to do the Island of Woman at that time, but because he was going to have a child, he decided to get the Island of Woman arc done before his child had to go to school or anything. So that's why he did the Island of Woman at that time. So he was actually planning to do that later on in the story. Wow, I did not know that. That's cool. So he wanted to kind of hide that part of the story. So she, instead, she likes Hancock figures because she thinks they're like cute and whatever, and she says like, oh wow, Dad, you like big boobs, don't you? Wow, that's why he did that story then. That's impressive. I missed the start of this story. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but something that Sama did. So he wants to ask Kosugi, Oda now wants to ask, or to tell him something. Oh, Hee-ha. Hee-ha. So yeah, that's right. His gag, one of these comedy members, his gag is hee-ha. He goes, hee-ha! And that's a gag from, of course, Ivankov. Oh, so who started it first? Did the comedian or did Ivankov start hee-ha? Which one was it? He says, Oda says, I don't watch much TV, so I don't know if you did it first or if I did. But after several weeks after writing that chapter, I saw it on TV. He says, but I don't think that it's possible that you... Wow. So there... So yeah, all right. He's saying that like it was just a complete coincidence. Like we just did this at exactly the same timing. They're saying like, oh well, if you look at when he first did it in the Nep League, the program that he was on, he's like, you should check out when that chapter debuted versus when that episode of Nep League debuted, and you can tell which one is first. And he says that the comedian says that a lot of people were actually mad at him for doing that routine. They said, you stole it. And he says, no, that's not the case. And they said that for both of them, the origin of that gag is from a Western movie going, hee-haw, like on a horse. Hee-haw! So that's where it comes from for both Ivankov and for this Kosugi. Oh, and this was recorded on December 8th. So almost exactly a month ago. All right, so now they're going to have a comment on a final word. So they're saying they're very surprised to have met Oda and that he's not who they expected him to look like. He doesn't look like they expected him to. They said, like, you have this amazing house and this amazing workplace. And they're like, but I don't expect you to look so simple. I don't expect you to look so approachable. And they thank him for letting them intrude in their house. Oh, there's a spot for Stampede. And that's it. Okay. All right, so we'll wrap that up. That's done. Any questions? Exactly 1 hour. Nice. Turn off the TV. Beep. All right. Could you repeat the part about Oda moving the Island of Woman forward in the story? I didn't catch that. Sure. So Oda moved the part about Island of the Woman earlier in the story, because his daughter. He didn't want his daughter to have to go to school and deal with a kind of a voluptuous kind of story where, with all these, scantily clad women. He didn't want her to have to maybe get bullied or see that or have to experience that. So he wanted to get that done before they went to school. So that's why he did that then, to kind of try and protect her from that part of the story, and how her classmates might react to that. What's the deal with immensely tall people in One Piece? Oda likes big. Toriyama likes to go small with his power, and Oda likes to go big. All right. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, so if there's no more crushing questions, I wonder what the alternative was to Amazon Lily. Have I ever been to Oda's house? Yes, I have. All right. And yeah, Hersha says, good night, Greg. So I think I'm going to take that cue and say, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I know this is the internet, so of course you're going to find many streams of that. I hope you can go back and watch this alongside those streams that you find, whatever it is, and enjoy it. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day or night around the world, wherever